Check out this spectacular scene. Absolutely beautiful. I'm hiking in the Wallowa wilderness area of northeastern Oregon. Drove up here with my brother just on a day hike. My brother's on the trail behind me somewhere. I have a little bit longer legs, so going a little bit quicker here. So we're just doing a day hike, but I'm checking out the area to possibly go backpacking in for a few days next week. And it's definitely looking pretty spectacular. I have a few little hurdles though, which is that I don't have my backpacking backpack. I have a smaller backpack that's kind of insufficient. I don't have a stove, and there's restrictions on on campfires up here, and a few other things. So anyway, not quite sure what I'm going to be doing next week. I might end up just going on a little road trip, borrowing my brother's car or truck around Eastern Oregon, which will be really awesome as well. Definitely get some hikes in then. So, but anyways, just soaking up the spectacular scenes of nature. And I'd come up with a video title last night that definitely seems appropriate for hiking through the wilderness here, which is, I'm committed to healing the planet. Something along those lines. Might be a few extra words in there, but and you know, I was just thinking about the major problems in the world at this time. Pardon me, flight. Especially with the just crazy political stuff going on at the moment, with a jet airliner shot out of the sky and various world leaders pointing fingers at various governments. And just so happens that the same day that this airliner was shot out of the sky, Israel invades Gaza with ground troops. Oops. Howdy, how's it going? Good. And I was watching a few videos last night, and you have to wonder, is that a coincidence? Or is that a perfect cover for what Israel's doing in Gaza? And there's just all kinds of strange circumstances with these various events and coincidences, and you know, a lot of crazy stuff could come out of it. And the point is that our world is in a state of extreme imbalance. Obviously, anyone who's the least bit aware, conscious, sensitive, especially anyone who gets out in nature, gets away from the hardness and the noise and the distractions and the chaos of the modern world, of cars and buses and tons of people and everything. Anyone who is the least bit familiar with this vibration here can look at what's going on elsewhere in the world and say, this is out of whack, this doesn't need to be like this, something's wrong here, and why is it like this? Why can't we create a world of true peace and love, and of balance with nature? And so something needs to give, as they say. Something needs to shift. Something needs to change. It's to the point where most likely we're affecting the weather, and the fish are dying in the seas, and coral reefs disappearing, and Amazon rainforest disappearing, and you know, the very fabric of the natural realm is at risk. We can say, oh, you know, people have been saying that for 30, 40 years, and so what, things still go on. But what's 30, 40 years? That's nothing. That's not even a blip in Earth's history. And what's the future of humanity in the coming centuries. I mean, decades, perhaps, but even looking further than that, can we keep on this track for another 500 years when we've affected the planet to such an extent and the population has exploded to such an extent in the course of just 1 century? So there's something wrong. It is a worldwide problem. And so what's going on? What's the problem? Is the problem overpopulation? Is the problem environmental degradation? Is the problem, the root of the problem political, problems with our political systems? Or is money the problem? No, none of this is the problem. The problem is in consciousness. The problem is in the consciousness of humans, which determines the choices that we make, how we live our lives, how we relate to the planet, how we relate to other people, how we relate to other nations, whether we're going to go to war or solve things in another way. The problem is in consciousness, and so that's the importance of the spiritual path, is the transforming of consciousness. Because sure, there's plenty that can be done in the outside world, combating, well, that's the wrong word, but seeking to change environmental policies and abuse of animals and rights of minorities and different environment or economic systems that are more fair and political systems that are more fair, etc. But ultimately, you're just going to be shuffling stuff around, basically, if you're only focused on outside stuff. The same imbalances within consciousness of humans is going to crop up again and again and again. Wow, amazing. The outer world is a manifestation of consciousness, of inner mind and emotion and all that makes up our non-physical being. The outer realm, the physical world, how we relate to that which is without is all simply a reflection of our inner state of being. And so the most important changes that need to be made are within consciousness, within your own consciousness. And you can't change anybody else's consciousness. You can only shift yourself within. And in the process, you energetically change the world around you through that change of vibration of your own being. And so this is really important stuff, really important work, because human potential is not being realized. Human potential is so constricted, is so repressed, and not being manifested, and that's the problem. And through shifting our focus from the outer to the inner, and recognizing that we can make major changes within, then we can change things at the root and start shifting things in a better direction. And it's tricky stuff. There's no nice, simple, easy right answers as to what's the right spiritual path, the right approach, how exactly to make real, genuine, fundamental changes. Lots of people are saying lots of different things. Some people are saying different things from others, etc. But just having that awareness, that consciousness, that intention of, okay, I'm going to seize the reins of my being, of my soul, of my consciousness, and and do whatever the hell I can do to make a change, a shift within that will ripple out and shift the world in general in some way, even if in some small way. You know, we're all just one person amongst 7 billion, but you can make a change as one person, and one person can make a big difference if if that's what you want to do. So I'm committed to helping in the healing of this planet to whatever extent I can, as one individual, whatever I can do with this life, because it's really important stuff for sure. And we can live in a world of peace and love and balance with the natural realms. Humans have done it to some extent for hundreds of thousands of years without getting to this point of tipping the scales of the whole world's ecological system, and so we're at a real breaking point here, and so we all have some responsibility and we all have some power to take a hold of and see what we can do with it. So anyway, just gonna soak up this beautiful scene. Take care.